Hey everyone, Andy Rafael from eTechnics.com, and today we have something extremely special. This is basically the most powerful laptop on the planet based on its size. So it's basically around as thick as a MacBook Pro, but it harnesses so much more power than a MacBook Pro. Sorry Apple fanboys, but it's the truth. Essentially what we've got here is a GTX 1080 Max-Q design, not to confuse that with a general kind of generic 1080. So essentially what you've got is a slimmed down, cut down version inside a laptop, making this a stupidly powerful, stupidly slim laptop. This is the ASUS Zephyrus, so let's take a look. The market for high-end gaming laptops is extremely demanding, with them commonly costing thousands of pounds, especially when you're looking for high-end hardware, and at that price people are expecting the best of the best. The ASUS Zephyrus Max-Q gaming notebook certainly fits that bill, rocking a fairly significant price tag but promising some very significant performance, all in a slim package. As part of Nvidia's Max-Q design philosophy, the laptop uses specifically tuned hardware and cooling to deliver the best performance for each component. It does this while also paying close attention to the overall weight and thickness of the system. With this philosophy, ASUS have been able to create an incredibly slim gaming laptop, which still manages to have one of the latest Intel laptop processors, the Core i7-7700HQ, as well as an Nvidia GeForce GTX 1080 graphics card. Measuring just 16.9 to 17.9mm thick from front to back, the Zephyrus is incredibly slim, especially so given the hardware that it hides inside. This is slimmer than most older generation MacBook Pros on the market today. This means you'll have no trouble fitting it into any common backpack or laptop bag, or even just carrying it in your hand. It's incredibly lightweight too, at least as far as gaming laptops go, weighing just 2.25 kilograms. With its processor and graphics card combination alone, the Zephyrus is one of the most powerful gaming laptops in the world. Of course, we're going to be finding out if it's all show and no go in our benchmarks today. Gamers obviously want the best performance that they can get, and the GTX 1080 in a laptop is certainly the way to get that. But what use is rendering massive frame rates if you can't enjoy them? Well, the Zephyrus comes equipped with a 120Hz G-Sync display, allowing you to enjoy silky smooth gameplay at extreme refresh rates. With the use of G-Sync, any time gameplay drops below 120 frames per second, the display will match the output from the graphics card, giving you lag and tear-free gaming. On the point of gaming, you will find a rubber wrist rest in the box for those times when you're up until 3 AM trying to defeat your friends in your favourite game. This doesn't physically attach to the laptop, but it can be placed in front of it and will help increase your overall comfort during those long gaming sessions. Personally, I think the wrist rest is pretty essential to the day-to-day use of this laptop, as the keyboard is shoved quite close to the front edge, although that does give the feel of a more standard desktop keyboard. The overall design of the Zephyrus is incredible. It's quite minimalist in terms of outward design, with a mostly matte black finish and some light brushed metal effects on the edges. Overall, it gives off a nice, premium quality looking feel. The materials used are perfect to getting that quality feel while not feeling cheap or flimsy, which is quite impressive considering how slim it is. Unlike a lot of gaming laptops which can often be quite garish or outlandish in terms of design, this feels a lot more refined, understated and grown up. You wouldn't get any funny looks pulling this out while sitting in a business meeting, at least until they realise you're sitting there playing Battlefield and not taking notes like you should be. Connectivity is excellent, with a USB Type-C and USB 3.1 ports down one side, while the other side has two more USB ports, HDMI output for external displays, a headphone jack and the DC power in. Power-wise, you'll actually be quite surprised at the size of the power brick that comes with it. I was expecting a much bigger unit based on how much performance this laptop is said to have under the hood. This makes it much easier to transport around too. It's quite important that all of the connectivity is dealt with on the sides of the laptop, as this keeps the rear clear for ventilation. There are two large vents, one on the left and one on the right side, but there's also a large hidden piece of ventilation. When you open the lid of the Zephyrus, the bottom appears to come away from the body, creating a huge opening that's the full width of the system. This allows for a lot of extra heat exhaustion. ASUS say that this will increase airflow by over 30% and reduce temperatures also by around 30%, which is obviously good news for those who plan on gaming for long hours. While I don't want to skip too far ahead, we did notice that while benchmarking and gaming on this laptop, it seems incredibly quiet compared to other similar specification systems. So I think ASUS are really onto something with this clever cooling design. There is a little bit more ventilation hidden on the base of the laptop, with two small vents on each side. Now what's most surprising is how featureless the bottom of the laptop is. We usually see lots of added ventilation on the underside, but that isn't the case here, and everything looks very clean and tidy. This gives us a good impression of how well designed and efficient the cooling must be. The Zephyrus uses a full-sized keyboard design, although it may not look like it at first. The low profile keys are very nice, light and responsive. This makes them perfect for gaming, but also just as comfortable for those times that you need to write those long emails for work that everyone hates doing. The mousepad is touch sensitive and is positioned on the right side of the keyboard, not below as you would typically expect. There are two light and responsive mouse buttons at the base too, but what's really clever is the control switch above it. Hit that button and you can change this from a mousepad to an LED backlit touch sensitive number pad. This is a really clever design, and not only does it save space, but it also looks pretty cool. Most of the surface above the keyboard is left blank, with this area generally just there to allow for passive cooling to the main components. There is a simple power button there, but otherwise it's fairly featureless. Towards the top you'll find a HD 720p webcam, which is ample for its purpose and is also quite good in low level light. There are two stereo speakers built in, which are at the frontmost corners of the laptop and not further back like you might expect. They are upwards firing, and for their size they do sound fantastic, or at least as good as you could hope for on compact speakers in such a slim system. Powered on, the Zephyrus really comes to life, with an LED lit keyboard that makes it great for working and gaming in a darker environment, and a crisp and bright 120Hz Full HD display that's prime for gaming. One downside to the LED lit keyboard is the fact that you can't change the colour of the number pad or the function buttons above it. These will always stay red, but that may just be a personal preference of mine, and other people may be able to overlook it. Other than this, the design is simply stunning. But what about the performance? Let's take a look. So there you have it, the Zephyrus is a gaming monster. Sure, it's not as fast as some desktop systems, but in the world of laptops you'll struggle to find anything that beats what it has to offer, with only some offerings from the likes of Razer, which feature higher specs but also featuring a much higher price point. Talking of price, our particular SKU is priced at £2,900 or $2,700 at the time of this review. It's certainly one of the more expensive options out there, but we really feel it's exceptional value for money, even if in the UK it does work out quite a lot more expensive than our US counterparts. For this level of hardware in such a refined and stylish package, you can spend the same or more on some rival products and still end up with a less powerful and a thicker laptop design. One of the most impressive aspects of the Zephyrus is the cooling. The Max-Q design uses finely tuned hardware to deliver optimal performance. One part of this being the GTX 1080, which is actually downclocked compared to a desktop model. This means it still performs great, but doesn't run as hot. A cool laptop is also a quiet laptop, and the Zephyrus doesn't have that loud fan annoyance that you might expect from a gaming laptop. While most of the value is in the gaming performance and the high refresh rate display, there's a lot more on offer too. With fast Wi-Fi connectivity, RGB lighting, super fast storage, and even some freebies such as a mouse and a wrist rest, the Zephyrus is a complete package and a real premium product experience. Overall, it's easily one of the best gaming laptops we've ever tested, and that's obviously a good thing. If you can afford the investment, we have absolute confidence that you'll be glad you did. So there you go, basically we were impressed, I'm sure you will be as well. Essentially this is probably one of the greatest products I've actually ever tested. It's a shame, and a lot of people ask me all the time, what happens to products once we've reviewed them? Some of them we keep, as you can see in the background, some of them sadly have to go back. And this one, it has to go back, which is a real shame because I would actually love to use this while I was on the road, going to CES, going to Computex, as well as just generally, you know, day-to-day usage. And of course gaming. But yeah, it has to go back. But overall, I'm so impressed with it. It's unreal. The performance, the lightweight kind of portability of it, it's got the whole package. And for the price, £2,800, it's not exactly bad value for money considering what you actually get. So there you go, boys and girls. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to subscribe to get more content like this directly to your inbox. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't, give us a thumbs down. We appreciate any feedback that you may give us, and we will see you in the next video. See you later.